Rise and ground, folks. We have another service call. This customer said that water was leaking from the ceiling of his garage, and he believes that the water is coming from the AC drain line. Text, guys, we were just out here a few months ago for the AC maintenance. He has 2 heat pumps, I believe. Let me show you. This is the one for the second floor, which is in the attic, and the other unit is around the corner. Now guys, remember what I was telling you the last time I was here. He has an air handler for the second floor unit upstairs, and the drains probably goes through the soffit. The drains, they don't come on the ground. I think they might have piped the drains from that second floor air handler into the gutters, but this is the garage, and that is what was dripping down. And ironically, they do have a supply vent here, so I don't know if this is condensation coming from that branch line there, or if this is if there's a drain line inside there. But I got my ladder. I'm just going to get a pocket knife and a screwdriver. I'm just going to cut like a very, very small access hole. I don't have my drywall knife, but I'll find a way just to cut a small hole up there, and I have to see whether or not there's a drain line up there. Because guys, worst case, if there's not a drain line up there, I think that just might be condensation coming from that vent. And guys, another thing, he said that this just happened yesterday, and it's been 90 degrees now for a couple of days. So my money is either on the drain line, if they have one up there, maybe the drain line is broken in the ceiling, or 2, maybe something's going on with the ducts insulating, well, with the ducts sweating. Maybe it needs insulation. But guys, another thing, I just came from upstairs, and the drains I poured a bottle of water down the drains. That air handler has, and I'll show you when I get up there, it's a horizontal air handler. It has a drain pan. The pan is empty, it's dry, and it has a float switch on the drain pan. Everything is working fine, and I poured a couple of bottles of water down the drain line, and like I said, water is flowing naturally. So I went up there initially to pour a couple of bottles of water down the drain, and I went downstairs, and guys, I didn't notice any leaking, or I didn't hear any drips. So guys, what I'm gonna do, let me cut a hole in that ceiling, and I'm gonna show you what we find. Let me get my stuff. Peace out. I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm up here, and it looks like the GFI is tripped, but I just unplugged the wires. And yeah, this thing was bubbling. I think water fell right onto the garage door opener. So what I want to do is I'm probably just want to cut a square just like that, and I want to see what we got. But I unplugged this here. I might just put a cover over this so no more water falls in on it. As a matter of fact, let me do that right now. And so let me get a towel or something just to make sure when I pop that, it's not gonna, hopefully, it's not gonna further damage the electrical controls inside that garage door opener. And let me get my water, and we're gonna get to cutting, and I'll let you guys know what's inside. I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys. And this is no dice. The studs are going this way, and I pop my head above here, even with my hand. The bubble is here, but everything is dry all around. Even the subfloor is dry, which is very, very weird. I don't see any drain line within this vicinity that will let me know that something's broken or clogged up. And like I said, the customer said that this wasn't a stream, it was like a very, very slow drip. It must have like happened over time with the bubble, but I don't want to get too crazy and open up this whole ceiling, but I can't see. I know my air handler is somewhere up and it terminates out this outer wall, but I don't want to get too crazy and open up this whole ceiling. But we do have two supplies which were closed. You have one here and one here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a couple more buckets of well, a couple more bottles of water, and I'm gonna pour some more water down the drain one more time just to see if I can, and I'm gonna come down here to see if I can hopefully see something or hear something down here, but it's just, yeah, this is definitely a head scratcher. And I don't even have any ducts here because the studs are here and here. And all this is open and dry. All that is open and dry. And that's where the wire is for the outlet for the garage door opener. But yeah, guys, let me shoot upstairs and let's test the drain one more time and come back down here and see what we got. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys. This is our unit. Everything's bone dry, and there's a float switch in the pan, and our drain line is draining. So what I just did before I made this video is I poured a couple bottles of water down this drain, and I'm gonna go downstairs one more time and see if I see any wetness or any signs of leaks downstairs. But this is a tight attic here, or a tight crawl space in the attic. But guys, let me shoot back downstairs and we'll see how it looks downstairs. I'll see you in a little bit. All right. And by the way, everything's cooling. The house is definitely getting down to temperature, but we have to figure out what's going on. Hey guys, dry as a wishbone. I had the towel over this the whole time. The towel's still dry. And I made a second hole here as well. And you do feel a very, very cold draft. Like you feel cold air. Probably just due to the vicinity of that branch line that goes to this register. But guys, at this point, I don't think if they had a drain line down here that was cracked or clogged up, for one, I wouldn't have been able to flush the drains, and water will still be in the drain line if something was backed up down here. So I don't think the drain line is broken, but it's clogged. But if it was broken somewhere, guys, the amount of water that I put in that drain, you definitely would have seen it somewhere down here. And it goes into the storm drains, which of course goes into the ground. So unfortunately, all that water I put inside the drain, you're not going to see it out here because it goes into the gutters, and the gutters go inside the ground. So unfortunately, guys, this is just one of those whatchamacallit kind of jobs. It's just, I get 100% what was going on here from what the customer described, but this is definitely not related to the drain line. And putting supply vents in the garage or any unconditioned space, you run the risk of the ducts sweating and condensating. But where the ducts are, I mean, unfortunately, we're gonna have to open all this up, which I don't think is gonna be worth it to do. But the only issue, guys, is the garage. Think about it like this. Out of everywhere that it leaks right on the garage door opener, which is weird. So guys, what I'm gonna recommend is recommend letting the customer know to run the unit like normal, keep everything out. But if it comes back again before he pays someone to fix these two holes here, if it comes back again, we recommend I guess him keeping an eye out and see if it leaks. Try to pinpoint if it's leaking from straight down or if it's leaking from somewhere else. Because guys, right now everything's bone dry. The only thing that was wet was just the patch, that round hole, which, like I said, doesn't really give me much leeway to trace it back to see what was going on. And like I said, through that second hole is just cold air, like a draft, which is normal due to the fact that it's right near a vent. But like I said, guys, this is an unconditioned space. It's real hot and there's a bunch of humidity, so no doubt about it. I think that this is like a condensation problem, but what I'll recommend him doing is just probably covering the top of that garage door controller there to make sure that, like I said, water doesn't get inside that controller. But yeah, worst case, if it comes back, they're just gonna have to open all this up and we'll have to get more into it. But guys, I definitely don't want to open everything up initially unless I had, like I said, a probable cause, meaning if I can trace the drain line or trace something back that's actively leaking, that would be a dead giveaway. But everything is dry, so like I said, this is just one of those random scenarios here in which, like I said, I don't want to call this an intimate problem, but we got to be able to see what we're up against before we can determine the next course of action. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna pack everything up, and I'll let the customer know to just keep an eye out on it. Give it right now it's gonna be like 90 degrees from now to Tuesday in PA, so within a couple of days he'll definitely know where it's leaking from by keeping that open. But yeah, let me pack everything up and I'm gonna rock out. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.